Hey gardeners, I'm Steven here at Barlow's to give you some tips on growing and taking care of your Petunia hanging baskets. So right here I have a Petunia hanging basket, and it's starting to become the summertime, and it's a little large and overgrown, and this one's actually really dry. So petunias are plants that are heavy drinkers, meaning they like a lot of water. So throughout the summertime, I want you to make sure you water these things every single day, especially when it's hot out. Also, petunias are heavy feeders, so they like a lot of fertilizer. So in this video, I'm going to show you how we're going to fertilize this. And we're also going to talk about trimming it. Now this petunia's been growing in Barlow's greenhouses since around March, and it's starting to get what I like to call a little overgrown. Petunias are great plants to give haircuts to. What a haircut does is it kind of rejuvenates new growth. It kind of gets it pushing out full and flourishing with flowers and everything. So what I'm going to do is right now is I'm going to give it a small trim, and I recommend doing this with a lot of your hanging baskets and things like that. So just make sure you get a nice sharp pair of scissors, and you can go back and just cut it all the way back to here. And what you're doing is you're just going to open up the door for new growth. Now, although you might say that, oh my gosh, the basket doesn't look good, I'm going to guarantee you in about 2 weeks, it's going to look great again. So I'm going to go through and cut this whole thing back. You know, I'm not going crazy, but I am cutting off around 3 to 4 inches from the outside of the pot. And like I said, we do this here all the time at Barlow's with all our baskets. When they get overgrown, we'll give them a good haircut, and what we're going to do is we're going to feed the heck out of them when we're done. So when this is all done being cut, see I cut the back, it's going to look kind of like this does in the front here. So we have this petunia basket all cut back, and although you're like, oh my goodness, it doesn't look that great, I'm going to guarantee you that this basket will look great in 2 weeks. So you can even come back here and see it, and if someone comes back here and says, can I have that petunia that Steven cut back, I'll give it to you, if it's still available. So anyway, we have it cut back, so now what we're going to do, we want to make sure we fertilize this. And when I say fertilize after we cut it back, I'm going to fertilize this basket probably every 2 to 3 days until it really starts pushing out new growth, and then we're going to fertilize it once a week. So what I want to use is I want to use what we call Petunia fertilizer. It's really important to use this type of fertilizer. It has extra iron in it, and that's one of the macronutrients that this plant needs in order to grow. You can think about like calibrachoas need extra iron, scavola need extra iron, bacopa needs extra iron. They're just iron-hungry plants, and that's what that this fertilizer has in. This is called Jack's Petunia Feed. It's the same exact fertilizer that we use in our growing greenhouses to grow our petunias to keep them nice dark green leaves. So this is a 1.5 pound fertilizer. So what I'm going to do is I cut the bag open, and this is it comes with this 1 tablespoon scooper. So I'm just going to put 1 kind of heaping tablespoon in my gallon of water here. Like I said, this is a gallon watering can. You get like a gallon milk jug or something like that. Pour it right in there, kind of mix it around a little bit, and now it's ready to be fertilized. So I'm really going to soak this basket. It's probably going to take about half a gallon of water. I'm going to slowly soak it to make sure that the water seeps in through the soil. And if you have it hanging, you want to make sure the water comes out the bottom. So I might let it rest a second, let the water get down in there, and then soak it again, just to make sure you really, really give this a good drink of water. If you just kind of splash water over the top of it, it's not going to be as effective as if I really soak it. When I lift it up, I want it to be really heavy. So I'm going to give this almost a half a gallon to 3/4 of a gallon of water. So now I'm feeling that this is heavy, and it's good to go. So I'm going to water this again tomorrow, and again the next day. On the 3rd day, I'm going to fertilize it. Then 2 days of clear water, fertilizer, 2 days of clear water, fertilizer. Then I'm going to fertilize every 7 to 10 days with my Petunia feed. So come back and check this basket out. In about 2 weeks, it's going to be beautiful again. Those are some tips for taking care of your petunias. Good luck with them, and have a great time making them flower.